In a time of global conflict and clandestine warfare, one mind worked silently amidst the chaos, his thoughts birthing ideas that would change the course of history and the very fabric of the digital age. This is the story of Alan Turing, a mathematician, a logician, and a codebreaker. A man whose enigmatic legacy weaves through the threads of history, like a coded message waiting to be deciphered. But who was Alan Turing? How did his work shape the outcome of World War II and the development of modern computers? And why, decades after his death, does his life story continue to fascinate and haunt us? Join us as we unravel the enigma of the individual who fathered theoretical computer science and artificial intelligence, only to be ostracized by the very world he helped to save. This is not just a tale of numbers and machines. It's a tale of a genius betrayed, of unsung heroism, and a legacy that outlived a tragically short life. This is the enigma of Alan Turing. In the heart of London, as the 20th century dawned, a boy named Alan Turing began his journey. His world was numbers and puzzles, his sanctuary from the incomprehension of peers. The prestigious Sherborne School beckoned, a beacon for a mind like Turing's. Here, against the backdrop of aged stone and tradition, Alan's brilliance in mathematics began to shine, though often overshadowed by his solitary nature. By 16, Alan was not just solving complex problems. He was venturing into realms of math that baffled his teachers. Yet it was this profound understanding that set him apart, a young man conversing with the universe in the language of abstract thought. At Cambridge, Turing's genius found its true calling. His contemplations on the infinite, the essence of the algorithm, began to take form. It was here that he became a fellow, his name etched alongside the greats. But as Turing's intellect soared, the world outside was changing. The drums of war were sounding, a call that would soon demand his unique gifts. As the world braced for conflict, Turing's destiny intertwined with the needs of a nation. From the abstract to the concrete, his ideas were poised to become the weapons of a new kind of warfare. In the quiet corridors of theoretical realms, a young visionary named Alan Turing began a journey that would alter our understanding of computation forever. The year was 1936, and Alan, a mathematician at Cambridge, was about to light the spark of a looming revolution. He published a paper on computable numbers, and within its pages, he unveiled the Turing machine, a conceptual device that could simulate any algorithmic logic. This wasn't just a machine, it was a revolution wrapped in paper and ink. Turing's machine spoke of universality, of a future where machines would not just calculate, but could potentially emulate human thought. It was an oracle of mathematics, speaking the language of logic and possibility. The Turing machine became the cornerstone of modern computing, the ancestor of the digital age. Yet, beyond these profound academic triumphs, Alan Turing's mind ventured further into the nascent field that would one day be known as artificial intelligence. Even as the shadow of war loomed, Turing's theoretical machines gestated in the quiet sanctuaries of scholarship. But fate had a role for him to play, and his destiny was more profound than the hallowed halls of academia could contain. As the world braced for conflict, Turing's destiny intertwined with the needs of a nation. From the abstract to the concrete, his ideas were poised to become the weapons of a new kind of warfare. Alan Turing was on the cusp of destiny, a path that would lead from the tranquil banks of academia to the clandestine war rooms of Britain. From the abstract to the concrete, his ideas were poised to become the weapons of a new kind of warfare. As Europe descended into the darkness of war, Alan Turing found his theories of computation catapulted from the chalk-dusted halls of academia into the urgent arena of national defense. The British government, recognizing the strategic importance of codebreaking, enlisted his extraordinary mind for the war effort. Within the clandestine confines of Bletchley Park, Turing's genius found a formidable challenge, the Enigma cipher, a cryptographic device that the Nazis used to cloak their communications in secrecy. It was a puzzle that would require all the ingenuity Turing could muster. Turing, leading a cadre of cryptanalysts, devised the Bomba machine, a marvel of engineering that could test the vast permutations of the Enigma's settings. Under his guidance, the team embarked on a high-stakes game of intellectual cat and mouse, seeking patterns amidst a sea of scrambled messages. Day and night, the bomb machines clattered, their drums spinning in a relentless search for the elusive settings that would yield the day's Enigma keys. The task was Herculean. The Enigma cipher's complexity meant that the team faced astronomical odds. But Turing's revolutionary approach to cryptanalysis, combining mathematical theory with practical engineering, proved to be the linchpin in deciphering the Enigma messages. Each breakthrough peeled away the layers of the Axis powers' plans, providing crucial intelligence that shaped the course of the war. Despite the monumental stakes, Turing's demeanor remained as enigmatic as the codes he sought to unravel. To his colleagues, he was an enigma, deciphering Enigma, his mind always a step ahead of the machine's mechanical computations. The contribution of Turing and his colleagues at Bletchley Park was immeasurable. They not only turned the tide of war, but also laid the groundwork for modern computing and cryptography. Yet, the full extent of Turing's wartime heroism would remain unrecognized during his lifetime, his achievements hidden beneath a veil of utmost secrecy. As the war ended, and the world stepped into a fragile peace, Turing returned to a society that was unaware of the debt it owed him, a society that would tragically fail to honor the man who had done so much to preserve its freedom. The war had ended, but for Alan Turing, the quest for knowledge was ceaseless. In peacetime, his thoughts turned to a new horizon, the development of the electronic computer. Turing joined the National Physical Laboratory, where he crafted the design for the automatic computing engine, a machine that would embody his vision for a universal computer. His report on the project was visionary, detailing concepts that would become the bedrock for future computer architectures. However, bureaucratic inertia hindered the project's progress, a stark contrast to the urgent wartime efforts at Bletchley. Not to be deterred by institutional roadblocks, Turing took his talents to the University of Manchester, where electronic engineering was blossoming. Here he found the means to realize his computing dreams. At Manchester, he played a pivotal role in developing the Manchester Mark I, one of the earliest stored program computers, a concept he had once only theorized. Turing's focus then shifted beyond mere computation towards a question that would define a new field. Could machines think? This query marked the beginning of his foray into what we now call artificial intelligence. Even as Turing laid the groundwork for the digital future, his contributions were largely unrecognized. He worked in relative obscurity, a mind ahead of his time, his vision of computing stretching far beyond the capabilities of the era. Beneath the accolades of his professional triumphs, Alan Turing's personal life was fraught with societal challenges. In a time when authenticity could lead to persecution, his identity as a gay man was a dangerous truth to live. In 1952, Turing's private life collided with the public norms of the day, resulting in his arrest for gross indecency under the draconian laws of the era. The justice system he had fought to protect during the war now turned against him. Faced with the grim alternatives of imprisonment or chemical castration, Turing chose the latter, a decision that led to physical and emotional turmoil. The treatment was cruel, an affront to his dignity and humanity. Despite the personal anguish, Turing continued his academic pursuits, but the conviction cast a long shadow over his esteemed career. He was barred from consulting with the government communications headquarters, a bitter irony given his wartime contributions. The final chapter of Turing's life remains shrouded in mystery. In 1954, he was found dead from cyanide poisoning, an apple beside him, leading some to speculate that he chose to end his life. Others suggest it was a tragic accident, Turing's death was not just the loss of a brilliant mind, but a stark reminder of the cost of prejudice. It would take decades for society to recognize the injustice he endured, his legacy a bittersweet tapestry of genius and tragedy. The untimely death of Alan Turing was a profound loss that echoed beyond the confines of mathematics and science. He was a man who had run a marathon against prejudice, yet had been felled before his final lap. The narrative of Turing's life is incomplete without acknowledging the impact of his work, which continued to ripple through time, touching lives and reshaping the future. Turing's legacy is enshrined in the annual Turing Award, the highest honor in computer science, akin to the Nobel Prize. It's a testament to his lasting influence that his ideas remain foundational in a world he never lived to see. In 2009, following a public campaign, the British government issued a posthumous apology for the treatment Turing received, acknowledging the injustice with a statement from the Prime Minister. This was followed, in 2013, by a royal pardon, an extraordinary measure that sought to correct the record and restore dignity to Turing's memory. Yet true vindication lies not in titles or formal decrees, but in the thriving legacy of the digital age Turing helped to birth. His is a name that has become synonymous with the very essence of innovation and human ingenuity. Alan Turing's life was a paradox, a mind that understood the complexities of the universe, but lived in a world that failed to understand him. His story is a beacon for future generations to champion, the cause of the misunderstood genius. In the grand tapestry of history, Alan Turing's thread is woven with the dual colors of triumph and tragedy. His life, a mosaic of brilliant discovery and profound injustice, challenges us to reflect on the past and inspire the future. Today, we stand on the shoulders of this intellectual giant. In every computer click, every digital whisper, we hear echoes of Turing's legacy, a symphony of science that sings of a future he envisioned. As we chart the course of the digital frontier, we remember Alan Turing, not just for the codes he broke, but for the barriers he challenged. His story is a reminder that the power of an open mind can change the world. Let us honor Alan Turing by fostering a world that celebrates diversity in thought, where the next Turing can flourish without fear, and where the enigma of the human spirit continues to unlock the mysteries of the universe.